When he stepped off the straight and narrow path of his peculiar honesty, it was with an inward assertion of unflinching resolve to fall back again into the monotonous but safe stride of virtue as soon as his little excursion into the wayside quagmires had produced the desired effect. It was going to be a short episode, a sentence in brackets, so to speak, in the flowing tale of his life. A thing of no moment, to be done unwillingly, yet neatly, and to be quickly forgotten. He imagined that he could go on afterwards, looking at the sunshine, enjoying the shade, breathing in the perfume of flowers in the small garden before his house. He fancied that nothing would be changed, that he would be able, as heretofore, to tyrannize good-humoredly over his half-caste wife, to notice with tender contempt his pale yellow child, to patronize loftily his dark-skinned brother-in-law, who loved pink neckties and wore patent leather boots on his little feet, and was so humble before the white husband of the lucky sister. Those were the delights of his life, and he was unable to conceive that the moral significance of any act of his could interfere with the very nature of things, could dim the light of the sun, could destroy the perfume of the flowers, the submission of his wife, the smile of his child, the awestruck respect of Leonard da Souza, and of all the da Souza family. That family's admiration was the great luxury of his life. It rounded and completed his existence in a perpetual assurance of unquestionable superiority. He loved to breathe the coarse incense they offered before the shrine of the successful white man, the man that had done them the honor to marry their daughter, sister, cousin, the rising man, sure to climb very high, the confidential clerk of Hudig and Company. They were a numerous and an unclean crowd, living in ruined bamboo houses, surrounded by neglected compounds on the outskirts of Macassar. He kept them at arm's length, and even further off, perhaps, having no allusions to their worth. They were a half-caste, lazy lot, and he saw them as they were, ragged, lean, unwashed, undersized men of various ages, shuffling about aimlessly in slippers. Motionless old women who looked like monstrous bags of pink calico stuffed with shapeless lumps of fat and deposited askew upon decaying rattan chairs in shady corners of dusty verandas. Young women, slim and yellow, big-eyed, long-haired, moving languidly amongst the dirt and rubbish of their dwellings as if every step they took was going to be their very last. He heard their shrill quarrelings, the squalling of their children, the grunting of their pigs. He smelt the odors of the heaps of garbage in their courtyards, and he was greatly disgusted. But he fed and clothed the shabby multitude, those degenerate descendants of Portuguese conquerors. He was their providence. He kept them singing his praises in the midst of their laziness, of their dirt, of their immense and hopeless squalor, and he was greatly delighted. They wanted much, but he could give them all they wanted without ruining himself. In exchange, he had their silent fear, their loquacious love, their noisy veneration. It is a fine thing to be a providence, and to be told so on every day of one's life. It gives one a feeling of enormously remote superiority, and Willems reveled in it. He did not analyze the state of his mind, but probably his greatest delight lay in the unexpressed but intimate conviction that, should he close his hand, all those admiring human beings would starve. His munificence had demoralized them. An easy task. Since he descended amongst them and married Joanna, they had lost the little aptitude and strength for work they might have had to put forth under the stress of extreme necessity. They lived now by the grace of his will. This was power. Willems loved it.